Hey, Smooth Terrorist again. This is another reply to Russ Lindquist. Um, that was a good ass video. I can't believe you stayed interesting for 40 minutes, and it did. I didn't feel like 40 minutes of my life was going by, but I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna respond. I think that video is too big to fail, my friend. Speaking of too big to fail, that's like, you know, I'd love to respond to all the points that you made, but I know I'm not going to be able to. And in order to do that, I would have to make an 80-minute long video. To respond to your 40-minute long video and cover all the bases, I'd have to make an 80 fucking minute long video. I'm not going to do it. It's 8:46 right now. I got company coming over at 10. Yeah, I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Man, I felt like you took a few low blows at me, man. Tila Tequila, and, God, what else did you say? You said I talk like a black preacher. So, man, that's mostly a cultural thing. I live in New Orleans. I hang out with a bunch of black people. I went to school with a bunch of black people. It's just a different way of talking. I talk emphatically. And, you know, if you've noticed that, like, I sound like that accent comes out when I'm drunk, because, you know, I kind of have to make a conscious effort to talk like a white guy, and I sort of do that as a courtesy to everybody else, so that you know, they don't have to be confused by the incongruity and be like what's this guy's deal? Why is he trying to sound black? Oh, I'm not. I'm just, you know, social conditioning, whatever. It's a thing. I don't know. Well, look, you know, I'm going to try to distill the essence of that 40-minute long video and respond to that. That's the best I can do. And I'll say right off the bat that, you know, out of everything you said, there's only one thing that really touched a nerve and kind of hit too close to home for me. And that was when you said you don't trust freedom. And the reason that touched nerve is because I know it's true. I don't trust freedom. You know, freedom is the cornerstone of my my philosophy, my sense of ethics. It's the core of my being. But I don't trust it. I don't trust it, you know, with all of you, because people are fucking Nazis, and we can see that. But you know, this is the reason why, and it always happens on like every single one of my videos, and my audience isn't really as big as it looks. I don't think there's really 2,200 people that watch me on a regular basis. I think out of that number, maybe there's like 50 people that watch all my videos. And you would think after a while the same 50 people would catch wise, but it seems like they never do. Because I always get these comments like, well, when is the anarchism going to start? When do you think that that mankind is going to be ready for an anarchist society? And I have to always tell them, never. I don't think that time is ever going to come when everybody's ready for anarchism. It's never. And then they'll say, oh, well, what's your plan for an anarchist society? Like, let's get down to the nuts and bolts, nitty-gritty of how this is going to work. How is it feasible in an anarchist society to do this and this and this? And I'm like, no, guys, you don't get it. I'm not a utopian. I don't have any kind of delusions that an anarchist society can exist. I know it can't, because you guys are all Nazis. It's for me, it's just a moral stance. It's just my way of saying, look, I see through what you guys are doing. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm in fact going to resist it. But I don't have any illusions that one day everybody's going to get on board, and it's going to be just a world full of anarchists, because most people have that hole inside them. This is the best way I can describe it. They have this empty, cavernous, yawning abyss in their soul that they need to fill with the approval of peers. I have to have I have to have the approval of my fucking people. I have to be part of a group. Being part of a group makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I just can't stand on my own 2 feet. I need a bunch of people to validate me as a person. Well, that's never gonna fucking change. It's never gonna. I think there have always been people like me. I think there have always been a couple people like me in the world, and we just exist to go nuts. We're just here to be frustrated until we die, and wonder why everybody else has to be authoritarian collectivists. It's always somebody in my audience brought up a quote by George Orwell, and I have no idea what book it's from because I mean, this one, you know, I like my Orwell, but this came out of left field. I'd never heard this one before. I think it's from one of his, like, essays. And the quote was that, if I can get this right, within every anarchist lies the secret conviction that nothing will ever change. And that for me, that's definitely true. I mean, you know, I don't lack the ability to study history and notice that, wow, there's, you know, there's always been oppression. There's always been empires. It's not like we're going to wake up tomorrow and that's going to be different. I just don't see it happening. I really don't see that happening. I like to think that the internet is a game changer, but people thought that about movable type. I do think it's a little different than comparing. You know, I don't think you can exactly compare the internet to print. I think there is a difference. I still hold some shred of hope that it's going to be a game changer, but I don't know. I think it's kind of too soon to say on that. But look. You compared me to Mr. Mackey from South Park, and you basically suggested that I'm a dinosaur, that I'm trying to resist oppression in a way that's now outmoded. You don't have to stand up against censorship anymore. Just ignore it. Just look the other way, and you know. And you know, it's almost a persuasive point. Like, you've almost made me wonder if, hey, maybe I'm not chasing maybe I'm not chasing my freedom from one website to another, and then when each website becomes too powerful and they make too much ad revenue to the point where they feel like they have to censor everybody, then I have to chase my freedom somewhere else. You almost got me thinking, well, maybe I'm not chasing my freedom, maybe the oppression is chasing me, and it actually works the other way around. But, you know, here's my biggest objection, and maybe I am a dinosaur. Maybe I really am a dinosaur, Russ. It's entirely possible. You know, I predate the internet. I'm an old fuck. I remember a time when there was no internet, at least not in its current form. I remember a time when the average American household did not have a personal computer. I remember the dark days when, if you wanted to fap, you had to walk 10 miles uphill in the snow with no shoes on your feet and buy a porno magazine. Remember when porn came in magazines? Those were dark, primitive times, man. I think that industry must be gone. I doubt there's anybody actually, like, buying porn magazines anymore. But yeah, the point is, I might be a dinosaur. You might be right about that. But the biggest problem I have with what you're saying, Russ, and I'm sorry if I sound too emphatic. Don't want to come off like a black preacher, but you know, what are you gonna do? The biggest problem I have with what you're saying is this whole idea that just like, oh, just ignore the censorship, let them fail. They're not big to fail. Just let them fail. They'll be gone. YouTube will be the next MySpace. It's just going to go away, and then, you know, the truth is just going to go viral on its own. Doesn't require any effort on your part. Just trust freedom. Just trust the market. Let the market do its job. I mean, what you're saying almost sounds like Alan Greenspan could have said it when it came to financial regulation. And boy, was he fucking proved wrong. But what bothers me the most about what you're saying, Russ, is just trust freedom, is that is what you're saying requires no vigilance at all. It's almost like you're just saying sit back and let it happen. Just sit back and watch the world burn. Fuck it. Everything's gonna work itself out in the end. Now, unless I'm such a dinosaur, unless the internet is such a fucking game changer, you know, my personal study of history, which I'm not saying I'm like some kind of great scholar, but I've read a few books. Typically, it doesn't seem to work that way. It doesn't seem to work where you can just sit back, all apathetic and all postmodern and laughing like a snarky coffee shop smart ass, like, oh, fuck that dinosaur media, fuck that Pentagon, fuck them. Fuck them and their stupid Iraq war. Ha ha ha, they'll be gone in no time. They jumped the shark. Fuck that military-industrial complex. They're jumping the shark. Those corny old bastards. This is the new fucking era. Fuck them. Their control is fading. Boy, I don't know, Russ. I don't know about that. I don't know if the answer is to just sit back and just laugh sarcastically and just trust the market to do its job. And boy, you know, if these guys over here are being oppressive, then people are just going to go the other way, and they're going to go towards freedom, and that they'll just I guess the oppressors are just going to put down their guns and get bored and go home because we're ignoring them, right? Oh man, I just don't know, Russ. I just don't know if it fucking works that way. And let me see what time it is here. Can I say more? I really can't. It's fucking 9 o'clock. It's gonna take a while just to upload this shit. You know, you made a great video. You made a lot of good points, and I really wish I had the time to respond to every single one of them, even though my audience would hate me for making an 80-minute long video. But I hope you get my point. I would love to believe that I can just relax, because that seems to be the essence of what you're saying. Just relax. Trust the viral... Trust the truth to go viral. The truth is going to go viral. People are going to recognize the bullshit. Hey, I'd love to, man. I'd love to just believe that we can ignore YouTube and it's going to go away. And Daily Motion will be the thing of the future. And if they don't stay in line and respect our free speech, then they're going to go the way of MySpace too. I'd love to believe that the market does its job. I'd love to be able to trust freedom. But you know what though, Russ? I love freedom, especially my own, but I sure don't fucking trust it. You were right about that. You got me. That was you sunk my battleship, man. Direct hit. 'Cause I don't trust it worth a fucking damn. I don't trust human nature. I see the same things happening. You know, the forms change, the themes change, but it's always the same thing happening again and again. History repeating itself again and again. Eternal recurrence of the motherfucking same. You know? And, I don't know. Let me know what you think, I guess. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then, as I always say, download it, re-upload it, mirror it, parody it, make it your own, because the outmoded dinosaurs at Google cannot censor me unless you let them. Keep it smooth.